Hey everyone, 50% of people fail their DMV test. Pass on your first try at dmvtestmaster.com.
Hey there, Big Apple drivers. Getting your license can feel like navigating Times Square on a Saturday, but with the right prep, you'll be on your way. Did you know a lot of people fail the New York DMV written test on their first try? Don't be part of that 50% fail rate. We're here to help you pass with flying colors. Here are 75 questions and answers to help you ace your New York driver's license test. Traffic laws and rules of the road. Q1. What is the legal blood alcohol concentration, BAC, limit for a driver who is 21 or older in New York? A. The legal BAC limit is 0.08%. Q2. When must you use your low beam headlights? A. You must use them from a half hour after sunset to a half hour before sunrise, and at any time when visibility is less than 1,000 feet. Question 3. What does a flashing red traffic light mean? A. You must come to a complete stop and proceed only when it is safe, just like a stop sign. Q4. How far in advance must you signal before making a turn? A. You must signal at least 100 feet before a turn. Q5. What does a solid yellow line on your side of the road mean? A. It means you are not permitted to pass. Q6. What does a broken yellow line mean? A. You may pass when it is safe to do so. Q7. What does a solid white line on the side of the road indicate? A. It marks the edge of the roadway. Q8. What does a double solid yellow line in the center of the road mean? A. Passing is not permitted for vehicles traveling in either direction. Q9. When can you pass a vehicle on the right? A. You may only pass on the right when a vehicle is making a left turn or on a multi-lane highway. Q10. What is New York's move over law? A. You must move into another lane or slow down when approaching a stopped emergency vehicle with flashing lights. Question 11. At a four-way stop, if two cars arrive at the same time, who has the right of way? A. The car on the right has the right of way. Question 12. When a school bus is stopped with its red lights flashing, what must you do? A. You must stop, regardless of which direction you are traveling. Question 13. What is the only exception to stopping for a school bus? A. When you are traveling on a divided highway with a raised median and are on the opposite side of the median from the bus. Question 14. What is the purpose of a triangular yield sign? A. You must slow down and be prepared to stop to give the right of way to other traffic. Question 15. How far must you park from a fire hydrant in New York? A. You must park at least 15 feet away. Question 16. What is the 3-second rule? A. It is the recommended safe following distance behind the car in front of you. Question 17. What does a flashing yellow light at an intersection mean? A. Proceed with caution. Question 18. What does a 5-sided sign shaped like a pentagon with a symbol of a person walking mean? A. It is a school zone sign. Question 19. What does a diamond-shaped sign with a symbol of a curved arrow mean? A. There is a curve in the road ahead. Q20. What is the purpose of a no standing sign? A. You can stop temporarily to pick up or drop off passengers. Q21. What is the purpose of a no parking sign? A. You may stop temporarily to load or unload passengers or merchandise. Q22. What is the purpose of a no stopping sign? A. You may only stop to avoid a conflict with other traffic. Question 23. What are the penalties for a first-time DUI conviction in New York? A. Penalties can include fines, license suspension, and possible jail time. Q24. True or false? You can be issued a ticket for driving too slowly. A. True. Driving too slowly can impede traffic and is considered a violation. Question 25. How far from an intersection should you stop for a stop sign? A. Before the stop line or before the crosswalk. If none exist, stop before entering the intersection. Question 26. What does a slow-moving vehicle emblem look like? A reflective orange triangle on the back of the vehicle. Question 27. What should you do when driving in a heavy thunderstorm? A. Slow down, increase your following distance, and use your low beam headlights. Q. 28. If your gas pedal gets stuck, what should you do? A. Shift to neutral, apply the brakes, and steer to a safe location off the road. Question 29. What should you do if your brakes fail? A. Pump the brake pedal rapidly, shift to a lower gear, and use the parking brake to slow down. Q30. What should you do if your tire blows out? A. Grip the steering wheel firmly, take your foot off the gas, and let the vehicle coast to a stop. Do not use the brakes. Q31. Who has the right-of-way in a traffic circle or roundabout? A. Vehicles already in the circle have the right-of-way. Q32. What should you do when you see a pedestrian with a white cane or a guide dog? A. You must stop and yield the right-of-way. Q33. What is the hand signal for a right turn? A. The driver's left arm is extended upward. Q34. What is the hand signal for a left turn? A. The driver's left arm is extended straight out. Q35. What is the hand signal for slowing or stopping? A. The driver's left arm is extended downward. Q36. When should you use your high beam headlights? A. On open roads where there are no other vehicles nearby. Question 37. What is the minimum following distance you should maintain behind a large truck? A. A larger following distance than for a car, as they need more time and space to stop. Q38. What should you do if you are involved in a crash? A. Move your vehicle out of the way if possible. Turn on your hazard lights and exchange information with the other driver. Call the police if there are injuries. Question 39. When must you obey a flag or signal at a construction site? A. At all times, regardless of the traffic signal. Q40. What is the penalty for texting while driving in New York? A. It is a violation that can result in a fine and points on your license. Q41. What is the minimum age to obtain a Class D driver's license in New York? A. The minimum age is 18 or 17 with a driver's education certificate. Q42. When parallel parking, how far from the curb should you park? A. No more than 12 inches. Q43. How far must you park from a crosswalk? A. At least 20 feet. Q44. What does it mean when a sign has a red circle with a white line through it? A. It means that the action is prohibited. Q45. What does a solid white line between lanes of traffic mean? A. It means you should stay in your lane. Q46. When you are parking uphill with a curb, which way should you turn your wheels? A. Turn your wheels away from the curb. Q47. When you are parking downhill, which way should you turn your wheels? A. Turn your wheels toward the curb. Question 48. What should you do when your car is being passed by another vehicle? A. Maintain your speed or slow down slightly and stay in your lane. Q49. What does a yellow sign with a deer symbol mean? A. There is a deer crossing area ahead. Q50. Who must wear a seatbelt in New York? A. All front seat passengers and all passengers under the age of 16, regardless of where they are seated. Q51. What is the purpose of the state-specific driver's manual? A. It contains the rules, regulations, and laws you must know to operate a vehicle safely in that state. Q52. What is the purpose of a green and white sign on a highway? A. It provides destination and directional information. Q53. What is the purpose of a blue and white sign? A. It provides information about services like hospitals, gas, or lodging. Q54. What is a blind spot? A. An area around your vehicle that you cannot see in your mirrors. Q55. What should you do if you are being followed too closely? A. Increase your following distance from the vehicle in front of you and gently reduce your speed. Q56. What is the penalty for a driver under 21 who is found to have a BAC of 0.02% or more? A. They can have their license revoked for at least 6 months. Q57. What should you do when you are in a construction zone? A. Slow down, stay alert, and obey all signs and flaggers. Q58. What is the penalty for passing a stopped school bus with its red lights flashing? A. A fine, points on your license, and possibly jail time. Q59. What is the zero tolerance law in New York? A. It prohibits drivers under 21 from operating a vehicle with a BAC of 0.02% or greater. Q60. How do you know if you are in a school zone? A. There will be signs indicating a lower speed limit and specific times. Q61. How often must a vehicle be inspected in New York? A. All vehicles must be inspected once a year. Q62. What does it mean when a sign has a white rectangle with black letters? A. It is a regulation sign. Q63. What does it mean when a sign has a yellow diamond with black letters or symbols? A. It is a warning sign. Q64. What does a flashing yellow arrow mean? A. You can turn in the direction of the arrow, but you must first yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. Q65. What should you do when a cyclist is on the road? A. Be aware of them, give them plenty of space, and be prepared to yield. Q66. What is the penalty for not having your vehicle properly insured in New York? A. A fine and suspension of both your license and registration. Q67. If you are involved in a minor crash with no injuries, what should you do? A. Exchange information with the other driver and move your vehicle out of the way if it is safe. Q68. What is the purpose of a no U-turn sign? A. It means you are not allowed to make a U-turn at that intersection or location. Q69. When driving on an expressway, when should you start using your turn signal to exit? A. At least 100 feet before the exit ramp. Q70. What is the purpose of an anti-lock braking system, ABS? A. ABS helps prevent the wheels from locking up during a hard stop, allowing you to maintain steering control. Q71. What is the most common reason for new drivers to fail the driving test? A. Not checking mirrors or blind spots and not coming to a complete stop. Q72. What is the implied consent law? A. It means that by operating a vehicle in New York, you consent to a chemical test if you are arrested for a DUI. Q73. What does a red circle with a white bar across the middle mean? A. Do not enter. Q74. What does a flashing red signal at a railroad crossing mean? A. You must stop and wait for the train to pass. Q75. How many points are added to your license if you are speeding in a school zone in New York? A. A speeding violation can add points to your license, but the number of points depends on the speed. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, you're ready to take on the test. Head over to dmvtestmaster.com to prepare with more practice tests and get ready to earn your license. Be sure to share this with your friends and family who are also studying.